Hello to all watching, this is Sal. I'm going to be showing off some of my gear here at request of other YouTubers, asking for better descriptions and even a little demo of the two amps mixed together. I just want to start off by saying that I am not some spoiled little rich kid living in mommy and daddy's house. My mom and dad did not buy me all this gear. I paid for it with all my hard-earned cash, and I do live in my own house, and I have a lady with an engagement ring on her finger, so I worked hard for all this stuff, so if you want to hate, go ahead. Whatever. As you can probably already tell, a lot of my setup's based on Tom Delonge's live stage setup. I was able to get nice and close to all the gear during the Angels and Airways Love Tour on stage for the sound check. Not everything that you see here is the same as Tom's. I may have a couple extra things or missing a couple things, but for the most part, it's pretty similar. There's always going to be haters out there with something to say. Like, fuck, if you want to call me wannabe, go ahead. I mean, if you're watching this video, obviously you're into Tom and the music he makes. He's the reason why I picked up a guitar 13 fucking years ago, so I have no problem with that. There's a comment section for all the hating, so go ahead. For the kids watching, because they are interested in the gear, if you have any questions after the video, just post them in the comment section and I'll get back to you. Alright, enough of that shit. We'll get started at the top of the rack with my synthesizer setup. At the very top, I have a Korg Chaos pad. It's a touchscreen synthesizer. Works on an XY axis. As you run your finger along the screen, you can change the sound depending on what setting you have it on. Below that is Eddie Van Halen Phase 90. I also use that with my guitars here and there if I'm not happy with the flange sound I'm getting. Sometimes I like to use a phase. Below that is the Alesis Micron synthesizer. Very big sounds come out of that thing. I run that directly through the Phase 90 and right into the Chaos pad, so as I play my synth I can control those sounds using the Chaos pad and vice versa. Alright, now progressing downward, the top of my rack shelves is a Furman M8X power conditioner. It's pretty much the best insurance you can get for all your gear. Keeps dirty power from getting into your amps and pedals and all that, and you don't have to worry about power spikes and surges and all that. Alright, next is something Tom doesn't have in his live setup. It's M-Audio Profire 2626 Firewire interface. I use it for recording directly from my amps into my mics, into that interface, and straight into my MacBook Pro using the Firewire port. Gives you high definition sound and very fast recording speeds. Can also be used as a mixer for live shows. We used it at a party. I ran my mic straight into that unit and then straight to the PAs, and you can control all your volumes and settings using that. Next shelf down is the Furman PL Pro C. It's another power conditioner, more or less the same as the M8X. This one guards against surges at a higher voltage level, so I run my more expensive gear through it, like my 2 amps and rack effects. Next we have the TC Electronics G Major 2. It's a step down from Tom's G-Force. It's an effects processor. Gives you your delays, filter sweeps, flange, reverb, some good pitch shifting as well. Below that is the brains of my rig. It's the GCX audio switcher. Everything you see is run through this thing. My drive pedals, flange, the effects unit, both amps, even the tuner, everything gets run through here. It works together with the ground control, which you'll see in a bit. Next is the Korg DTR 2000. It's a digital rack mount tuner. Last I checked it was discontinued, but by far the best tuner I've ever used. It's spot on. Displays your tune in cent, hertz, and even strobe setting like you're seeing now. Tom was using the red light model at the top of his effects rack during the Love Tour. Alright, next up is the stomp pedals. From left to right, versus the Whirlwind AB selector. That allows me to use both my amps at once or switch in between one and the other. I like to mix both amps together to get kind of the best sounds of both. And next is the Full Drive 2. It's a drive pedal. I use 2 of those actually. There's always one turned on with a low drive to kind of break up my clean sound. And the secondary one turns on when I want a nice boost for my heavy drive settings. To the right of that we have the Eddie Van Halen flange. Definitely the best flange pedal I've ever tried. I tried out all this gear before I bought it. I didn't just buy it because Tom had it. If it was shit, I wouldn't have picked it up. but it's unreal. It even has an unchained setting, so you click the button and you'll get the same flange settings as that song. And then a quick look into the rack drawer. I just keep a bunch of miscellaneous shit like extra mics, pedals, picks, strings, cables, and just guitar cables. I use a G7 and a Planet Waves standard guitar cable. Both are fucking awesome. I named this whole rack unit Gertie after the Kevin Spacey robot from the movie Moon. If you haven't watched it, fucking do it. It's good. Next, we'll just take a quick look at my vocal mic. It's an Audix OM2. Great mic, very sturdy, nice and clear as you can tell. The only issue I have is with the quality of the pop filter. A lot of the p sounds come through pretty strong. Now if we take a look onto the floor, I use a Voodoo Lab Ground Control Pro. It works together with the GCX audio switcher that you saw on my rack. My guitar plugs straight into the audio switcher, and all my effects and amps, even the tuner and pedals, run straight through the audio switcher on the rack, and it runs in loops. So every time I hit a switch on the ground control, the audio switcher on the rack tells the amp to turn off, or the effect to turn off, or the pedal to turn on. I can control all my sound with the tap of one button. I got them all labeled, so I have a clean, a dirty, clean with effects, and a dirty with effects, and I can change all that with different channels. Now we'll make our way over to the amps, starting with the Vox. It's an AC30 H2. Which is an anniversary version of the Vox AC30 series. All tube amp, 30 watts. The power can actually be cut down to 15 watts if you're playing at lower volumes and want to still drive those tubes and get the full tone out of it. It's very simple. There's only one channel, so to switch in between drive and clean, pedal is necessary. I mic both amps using Shure SM57 instrument mics. Gives me a good range, both highs and lows. I'm very happy with what they sound like. Make our way over to the Fender. It's a 65 reissue twin reverb, all tube as well, 85 watts I believe. The thing is very loud. For me to sit in a room like this by myself and play, right now I have the volume set to about 1.5, and that's enough to make you go deaf. It's great. It actually has 2 channels. I normally just use one, and I let my pedals do all the work. But it has the best clean of any amp I've ever used. It really takes a good pedal to give it a good drive. I've tried cranking this thing, and it just stays clean. Take a look at the little baby Vox amp over here. It's a Vox ATV8, just a 4-watt tube. One tube. You can switch the watts from 4 to 1 to 1/4 of a watt. And I usually keep it upstairs in my family room, so if I get an idea for a song, or if I just feel like jamming a little bit, I can turn it on and not piss off the fiance. Alright, now we'll make our way over to the guitar rack. As you can see, there's no shortage of guitars, but I found a way justifying a need for all of them. Washburns, Ibanez, Gibsons, Fenders. I love them all just as much as the other. It's like having a bunch of kids. You can't really pick a favorite, but they all have a great sound in their own way. Start with the acoustic. It's a Washburn J28 something. It's a long crazy name, but it's an electric acoustic, jumbo body, great tone. Then I have an Ibanez Artcore. It's a semi-hollow body. Also some great tones. I find if I want to get diverse and try out different things, I use that one. Now Gibson 1 of 3. It's a Tom Delonge signature in the natural wood finish. Some people call it yellow, whatever. And it has the black gloss stripe. Next is the satin black Tom Delonge Gibson with the black gloss stripe. The custom Angels and Airwaves truss rod cover was laser etched in a machine shop. And then everyone knows this one. It's the classic satin brown. This is the one that they come from the factories. The other two were done by a professional guitar restoration and custom artist. And then the classic Tom Delonge signature Fender in Seafoam green. Still one of my favorites. What a great guitar. And this one's a Fender standard jazz bass. I love the jazz basses. I love how thin the neck is at the top. And the pickups get you a lot of rad tones. That's about it for all the gear. Like I said, I'll play a short demo of the 2 amps mixed together, doing their thing. If any of you guys want to hear one of the amps by themselves, just inbox me or post a comment, and then I'll send you a track. If you guys have any questions, like I said, just post them in the comment section, and I'll respond to you as quick as I can. Thanks for watching, and if you want to talk some shit, go ahead.